can't keep track of all my pills. How do you do it? I'm on more than 5 medications.
I know it's really difficult, but it got a lot easier for me when my doctor stopped prescribing me some of my medications. Which medications are you on?
So I'm on Metropidol, Eliquis, Tylenol, and Prilosec.
Did you say Prilosec? How long have you been on that one for?
I don't know, maybe around a year. I can't remember why I started taking it.
I think that's a proton pump inhibitor or a PPI. I was actually on that for a little bit, but my doctor told me it wasn't a good idea to be on that for a long time. She said it can cause increased risk of serious infections or lead to problems with absorbing important vitamins and minerals. Have you talked to your doctor about, how long you're supposed to be on that medication for?
I haven't, but I've been wondering whether I could stop taking some of these medications. How do I know whether or not I should be taking it?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. My doctor gave me a really helpful resource that I can pull up on my computer and show you if you want.
All right, yeah.
Okay, great. And it looks like you might, kind of just scrolling through this, you might be able to stop taking that PPI. So maybe it would be a good idea to kind of reach out to your doctor and see if you could schedule an appointment to try and talk about that.
Yeah, good idea. I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't know how to bring it up with it. He knows best, so why wouldn't he have prescribed it in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult conversation to bring up, but there's a good chance that he maybe just forgot that you were still taking it, or maybe hasn't realized how long you've actually been on the medication. And you can just tell him, you were talking to a friend who was in a very similar experience, who just recently stopped taking that medication. And just express that you have been having trouble keeping track of your medications.
Hi, Mrs. Jones. It's been a while. Good to see you. So I understand that you want to talk about your medications, specifically your proton pump inhibitor.
Yeah, I've been having a hard time keeping track of all my medications.
That medicine I put you on, the proton pump inhibitor, the PPI. So I had you start that because of your acid reflux. You remember that burning sensation you had in your chest and your throat last year?
It was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, so that burning sensation was happening because your stomach was producing too much acid. So proton pump inhibitors like Prilosec or Nexium, Prevacid, all of those stop your stomach from producing so much. So that's why a PPI is used to treat conditions such as acid reflux or stomach ulcers, which can be a little more serious.
I do remember feeling better once I started taking it.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. That's good. It's important to know that the PPI does help reduce your symptoms. However, if you take one of these PPIs too long, you can have some negative side effects. So I do think we should take you off the PPI. To be completely honest, I think we should have taken you off 4 to 8 weeks into taking it. But I say let's go ahead and try that now. And we'll monitor you for about a month to make sure that the symptoms don't come back and that everything's okay. And then we'll go from there. Does that sound like a good plan to you?
Yeah, that sounds great. I was a little worried I'd called for nothing, but this has been so helpful, and I'm glad I might be able to take one of the medications off my list.
So let's go ahead and set up an appointment a few weeks from now so we can do that endoscopy. And before you go, do you mind if I show you some resources that you can share with all your friends?
Of course, I'd really appreciate that.
Okay, so this is the Canadian Patient Safety Institute webpage, and they have a lot of resources for knowing when to get off any medication or when you think a medication might be necessary, or if there's any, medications that together would cause a bad interaction in some people.
All right, yeah, thanks for sharing all these, and I'll definitely keep all these resources in mind for the future.
Of course, I hope that helps, and thank you for coming by today.